Do you know, it's not just that, I mean,
the good Chinese.
so, that's a week on Monday.
So Matthew's putting it in there. All the villagers are it took me 25 minutes to get here. So
runs across the road. And it's a big wood pigeon as well.
I'm going to start off with a very short speech which will be in verse. And as you probably noticed from the last few days, when they give the speeches of important people like Winston Churchill, they produce an actor. Well, I'm going to produce an actor, but you may not be able to identify his accent. If you're very clever, it means my accent is correct, but you may not be able to identify it. So this is how it goes. Hello to all. You can see I'm a toff, not quite a gentleman, some way off. I welcome you on this special day, and to all our friends in Nidus, UK. Celebrate with you our battles won, and some we lost or left undone. 80 years ago, how time has flown. Since 1940 we stood alone, fighting against the war, against all the odds, battling Hitler and his murder squads. So celebrate and look around and allow your memories to abound. Remind us of our strength and grit and those times when we must admit, times when our fortunes were running low. Some faltered and their doubts did grow. But the battle turned from loss to gain, as you will note from our time train. Gloom transformed to hope, and more besides. Joy and laughter holding both his sides. So I hope this afternoon will bring happiness and the chance to sing.
Okay.
From A to B, I often take the old railway. I travel quickly without strain when I'm kissing on the train.
People, when they travel from Newark to Bostisford, the courting couple sang, because the only place it stopped at was Cotham, and in 1939 they stopping at Cotham. So they just went on the train from Cotham to Bottisford and Newark and back. And this was a song they sang on the train.
When I go from B to A, I often take the old railway. I travel quickly without strain. When I'm kissing on the train. Sorry, kissing on the train, kiss the time away. When the one you love is close to you.
How long has it taken you to get it to this condition?
Ooh, 18 months. But I didn't paint it. That was a specialist job.
Are you hot as well?
I'm vaping, yeah. Very much like it. But...
Oh, it's wibbly wobbly. Four.
Yeah, it's that.
Yeah, I think this is back towards you. Well, okay.
I'm sending this down the other.
Oh no! He's run off. It's a runaway train. You have to say. There you go. Go on. Go on. Yes.
And there was one particular box that says 7 and 6 months, and I took these just get.
Well, I'm going to say that it's King's Cross. King's Cross is an hour and 10 minutes. Yes, there's a train line. You can do. So she came up to the interview and she rang me. She said, you've got an extra finding plan. This was in 1990.
Yes,
but
I'm just doing.
I told her she was an idiot and she missed the 0 off. And then she came back with the times and all these hours. And we were like living in a dingy panic coin and everything. Actually with the 4.
I was really lucky when I was 26.
Hey, it is, yes.
Oh, at Falmouth.
At Falmouth, yes.
That's different.
Falmouth.
Yeah. In fact, what I did in the end was crumbled oat flakes for it.
It's quite nice, Peter.
Yeah.
Sit quiet.
All right.
Will you?
Oh, okay.
Because I did that and nearly
Mum,
lost the lot.
just let's go.
Let's take some of these out.
Well, let's just get the food out. I can clean that up later on.
Yes,
It's not causing any problems
No,
right
no,
now,
no,
is
it
it?
isn't. Let me get the plates out.
Yeah. I've got a dozen or something.
Good, I've got a double. Bring it.
Boy Hotel. Do you want it? Do you want it?
Yeah, we'll get some. We'll go through.
Put the label behind them. That'd be better. Yeah.
Both of them. Tiny bit extra. There's no need to tell. No.
On the programme, let's see what's going on.
Yeah. I think any kind of crossover between those respects. We are very glad we
Flour and lard, yeah. Just flour and lard.
I know about it, because I've totally rebuilt.
I was going to say, have you built it back yourself?
Yeah, in fact, I've got 2 in the garage now, stripping.
What are you really?
You don't see that nowadays in people in lay-bys with, you know, steam for the north.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
No, it's...
Tuesday, the 8th of May, 1945, was a cloudy day in Cotham, with just the occasional shaft of sunshine, and later in the day it became quite warm. To celebrate the ending of the war in Europe, a 2-day holiday had been declared across the country. David Otter, who was living at Ploughman's Cottage in Cotham with his family, had left Cotham School the previous year. Photograph on the side if you want to see it, where he'd been taught by Mrs. Heath and had his artistic skills recognised. I'm sure you've seen some of the paintings of David Otter, very interesting, and including very good ones from the church. David remembers a total of 31 people living in Cotham, 5 in the Row, 10 in the Lane, 4 along the Newark Road, only 4 along the Newark Road, and 5 in Ploughman's Cottage, where David lived with his older brother, younger sister and parents. His father was a shepherd. There were 7 others living in and around Cotham Station, which was not quite open in 1945, but was still there because it was on the main line between Newark and Bottisford. David remembers Grandad Comte well. He was responsible for the upkeep of the graveyard at St Michael's Church and gave the grass its first scything in May. The Cotham Church bell, now in Taylor's Bell Foundry in Loughborough, was rung to celebrate the ending of hostilities. Unfortunately, we can't ring that now, but Horton's ringing a bell, is that right? Ringing a peal?
Yes, it's ringing a peal, 10 bells, the one from 1482 being used.
Yeah. So, a lot of bells are being rung today and during this week. A short distance away, in the waiting room at Cotham Station, another event was held. A waiting room at Cotham Station? It was the regular worship of the Methodist community in Cotham, a total of 5. David was a farmhand working under the gentle hand of Mr. Potterton, a local farmer and also a Methodist at Fen Lane, who up until that time had worked uneventfully with only one unusual experience when an American parachutist landed on his farm roof. David liked his job in the open air, especially in the month of May, with the sounds of the countryside only interrupted twice a day by the steam train from Newark to Bottisford. Cotham was the only intermediate stop, but after 1939 the trains thundered through the village. No, David corrects me. They rumbled gently through the village without stopping. David was given a lot of latitude as a young farmhand and was allowed to drive a Ford tractor with rubber wheels. Not entirely comfortable. And in May 1945 he was planting potatoes and sugar beet, because the farmer's work never finishes. His good friend John Kennewell, brother of Margaret Kennewell, whom David later married, was also a farmhand working for the Piketts. The Piketts are farmers who've been around for centuries. David had no regrets about his farming vocation. He later became a shepherd, and even before he left school he was working on Saturdays for 4 shillings a day. After he joined Mr. Potterton's farm, he was earning 1.5 shillings a week. David got on well with Mr. Potterton, who always ribbed him for taking the middle part of his name, so that he just became Pton. Pton, because the otter was taken out. Pton. He called him Mr. Pton. There were many people stationed in Nottinghamshire from US parachute regiments after D-Day, and on the 8th of May a company of them was housed in a wood just off the Newark Road, about half a mile north of Cotham. This was called the Yankee Base in the village. They had all their provisions with them, and so there was very little contact with the local villagers. But their officers were given special treatment. They were linked up with a welcoming family in Horton Range and had the luxury of being offered a bath regularly. officers had to remain fragrant. The villagers were often visited by the land girls based in Farndon, and they too were celebrating on the 8th of May. At Cotham School was closed for the holiday. Everyone had tea, cakes and sandwiches there and waved flags. So we're doing something rather similar today. The school children had an allotment to the west of the school, and it may be necessary to raid this, for Woolton pie no doubt, as so many foods were rationed. Unlike some areas where effigies of Adolf Hitler, Hermann Göring and Joseph Goebbels were placed on the tops of bonfires to loud cheers, Cotham had a quiet evening by comparison. But as the land girls finished their canoodling with the Yankee villagers, and David Otter hung up his rake and hoe, all took to their beds knowing that tomorrow there would be peace in Europe and fighting only in Japan. Thank you, David Otter. I'm sorry he can't be here. We're going to see him later on to have a bit more flesh on what he has written. Thank you for listening.
Well, they started his watches and then the taxi at 3:30 in the morning to Glasgow Airport. And then no, the East Coast. No, it's on the East Coast. You know, Ajax is where it is.
Who's made these?
So we didn't get them.
You've done it.
Yeah.
Let's not have any more after this one.
Yeah, you won't need any supper, will you?
No, I shan't need any supper, that's something. Very good.
When I see them in church, I always see them. But, you know, you should do. I'm so busy.
Tell me about VE Day in Cotham. What happened?
Well, I can't remember a lot what happened, but we had sports in the field across the way there, and it was a grass field then, and then we went in the schoolroom after, and in those days, I mean, everybody worked on the farm, and it was more or less a working village, wasn't it? Because you got all the agricultural workers, and you got 2 farms and gashes, and it was a working village, and VE Day, it was, I can't remember a lot, but I know we had races and tea in the schoolroom after.
And how did people feel?
Well, on the VE Day, well, we'd all been on tight rations. I don't know how Mum managed to, you see, there were me and my brother and sister at home, and you couldn't do a lot because you was still on the sort of a tight belt after the war.
What was it like working for Mr. Potterson?
Oh, Mr. Potterson, it wasn't bad. He was a very kind man, and he was a lay preacher for the Methodists. I worked down there for 6 years.
And did
we had after the VE Day, we had prisoners of war. They used to come from Allenton, Italians and Germans, and land girls from Farndon. And
So where did the prisoners of war come from?
I don't. They were at Allenton in a camp there. But I can't really remember, but they always used to start and light a fire when we were tater picking and boil a bucket on the fire and a jacket potatoes. The Italians was quite kind, but the Germans, you had to just watch your P's and Q's with them. But it was surprising how they took to working on the line.
And so how old were you on VE Day?
I would be, I should be 14.
Yeah.
I just left school. And then, 15 in the August, that's right. I left school at 14 from the Cotham schoolroom and went to work down at Fen Lane.
You mentioned before about the Yankee base. Could you say something more about it?
The Americans had a camp down in, as you go towards Newark, out of Cotham, on the right, before you get to Orton Grange. And they were in tents there, and they had got one gun dug in on the roadside and another one in the field. And then they, I think there was paratroopers, and anyway, one morning we got up and there were soldiers all over in the fields, and they'd parachuted out at night. I think they were practicing, ready for going over to Germany.
Marvellous.
Yeah, nice to see you again. Thank you very much. Yeah.
We did well, and the bacon gets better. I'll be coming for lessons. Peter went to story now. Yeah.
So it's Lorraine from Cotham. I'm from Cotham. It's Lorraine. We live at Honeysuckle Cottage, and I met you when you came to the parish meeting. Yeah, it was a little while ago. Would you like a cup of tea? Milk? Do you have milk with your tea?
Yes, please.
Do you want some sugar? And a sugar. Okay.
It helps in the church a lot. It's daunting.
Yeah. Because when I've gone, you see, it'll all be cleared out, and yeah, it's a picture. It's watching something when you were younger.
Right, that would be good, wouldn't it? Yes.
Yeah. If you want to call in sometime and look at it.
Yes, well, we would like to, yes.
My dad used to go out, you know, watching, making sure folks weren't shining a light. Yeah. Marvellous, isn't it?
Pick one out, yeah. Make sure it's mine. Right?
You used to sit in which corner?
Well, we had a wire or something in the corner, and a desk in that corner. We used to come through the door and They've knocked it out. There were a door there somewhere. It's all been altered, hasn't it?